Chapter 3. Mom, please help me with this. Xiaolan thrust the bag into Lu Fen's arms, whose eyes filled with tears. Xiaolan, how can you just leave like this? What will happen when your father comes back? Lu Fen was at a loss for how the situation escalated. Although her daughter would no longer be mistreated, she would be isolated, living alone. How could a teenage girl cope after being forced out of the house? Lu Fen hoped Xiaolan would recognize her error, yet she was apprehensive about provoking her daughter even more. Come stay with me until father returns. I lack cooking skills, I would surely starve if left to fend for myself. Xiaolan was determined not to abandon Lu Fen. She feared that if she left, the Xiao family would take advantage of Lu Fen's vulnerability. She knew that Lu Fen would soften, so Xiaolan resolved to be steadfast in her intentions because she wanted Lu Fen to leave with her. The Xiao family didn't stop Lu Fen from leaving, probably waiting for Xiaolan's father, Xiao Tajin, to return and address the situation involving the two women. Due to heavy rainfall, the county had mobilized strong men from the village to strengthen the river bank, fearing potential flooding in a nearby area, and the men from the Xiao family had gone to lend their support. Lu Fen, who didn't have any thoughts on her followed her daughter while carrying a bag of sweet potatoes. As Xiaolan stepped outside, she remembered to take the enamel cup filled with steamed eggs. The Xiao family's young grandson had been eyeing the eggs with great interest and began to wail when he noticed Xiaolan taking it away, causing quite a scene. Inside the room, chaos ensued as some individuals scolded Xiaolan while others attempted to comfort the child. The moment Xiaolan left the house, she was greeted by fresh air. To her surprise, there was no smog or pollution, only those who had returned from the future could truly appreciate the value of clean air. The uproar within the Xiao family attracted attention, and many nearby families gathered to listen. Upon spotting Xiaolan and her mother, the onlookers did not hesitate to point and comment, primarily directing their remarks at Xiaolan. Did she get kicked out of the house? She deserves it. Not even the brother-in-law is safe. She was caught rolling around with the bum from the neighboring village. The Xiao family is humiliated. Both of them share the Xiao surname. Her sister got into university. Look how wild this one is. When Xiao Tajin returns, he's going to beat her to death. She's been beaten and scolded but refuses to change her ways. Just look at the way she walks, her hips swaying. Xiaolan felt a strong urge to confront these gossipy village women. What did they mean by commenting on her swaying hips? It's just that she was so hungry she had no strength. Their incessant chatter disrupted the serene ambience created by the fresh air. As she surveyed her surroundings, Xiaolan appreciated the beauty of the rural landscape, a beauty that could only be truly valued by those enjoying a comfortable lifestyle. In 1983, the countryside was frequently praised by local literary figures. A glance around revealed numerous mud houses, with only a handful of red brick structures. Dai village was located in the center of the province, distant from the advantages brought about by the reform and development program. The only way to escape this situation was through education. Xiaolan's cousin, Xiao Zi, had chosen the right path. She was the only individual from Dai village to attend college in the more than 30 years since the establishment of the People's Republic of China and the subsequent reinstatement of the college entrance examination. It's clear that if Xiaolan did not reconsider her option, her life would significantly differ from that of her cousin Zi following her admission to college. Even if Zi had ulterior motives, what could she do? One was a female college student in the 1980s with promising prospects. No wonder the family regarded her as a golden phoenix. In contrast, the other had a tarnished reputation and lacked any marketable skills, leaving her with the limited options of marrying a widower or an old bachelor, rendering her unable to assist the women of the village. The disparity was as stark as that between the sky and the ground. No wonder the Xiao family appeared snobbish and realistic. Such behavior was human nature. In pursuit of their own interests, the Xiao family rallied around Zi. Xiaolan remained perplexed by this allegiance until her passing. It was clear that her relationship with that man was both reciprocal and flourishing. She was the one who motivated him to sit for the college entrance examination. She also meekly borrowed books from him to study and even personally accompanied him to take exam in the county. After the exam, she noticed nothing out of the ordinary. How did he become Z's official fiancé after receiving the acceptance letter? Was it because she was deemed unworthy of Wang Jianhua? Ultimately, choosing her cousin proved to be the right decision. College students should pair with college students, a match made in heaven. Yet, why did they trample over Xiaolan before leaving? How did such a vicious rumor spread? Xiaolan went to see Wang Jianhua for clarification, only to discover Z in his room. Z, who were much more diplomatic than Xiaolan, managed to make her leave with just a few words. On the way, she encountered this bum from the neighboring village. This man had previously harassed Xiaolan and had now grown even more audacious, directly tearing her sleeve. In that moment, Wang Jianhua and Z arrived together, and he showed clear disappointment in Xiaolan. He disregarded her attempts to explain and took Z's hand. Did that fellow spread the rumor? This year the government had implemented strict crackdowns, and that loafer could face severe consequences at any time. Regardless, it was of little consequence. Now that she has been reborn in this body, she was determined to uncover the truths that Xiaolan had overlooked and to seek justice for the rightful owner of this body. Beside the riverbank, an old, crumbling house came into sight. The fence gate hung askew, there was no lock on the door, and the walls and roof were riddled with holes. Lu Fan, holding a bag of sweet potatoes tightly against her chest, appeared disoriented. This was not a place to live. Xiaolan, hear Mom's advice, she urged. Xiaolan grasped her head and said, Mom, my wound is hurting again. Referring to Lu Fan as Mom had become second nature for her. She successfully shifted Lu Fan's focus. Is the wound torn? Let me see. The door stood ajar, revealing a disordered room where only the bed frame remained intact. Lu Fan encouraged Xiaolan to eat the cold, fishy-smelling steamed eggs. Not wishing to eat alone, Xiaolan managed to finish half, claiming that she was full. Mom, you should eat the rest, it will go bad tomorrow. Lu Fan grabbed the enamel pot, experiencing a blend of emotions. This had never happened before. It seemed that after her daughter hit her head, she seemed to understand how to care for other people. While Lu Fan felt a sense of relief, she was also plagued by worry. Your father will return in 2 days. The mention of her husband caused Lu Fan to instinctively hunch her shoulders, revealing a deep-rooted fear within her.